So here we are. It's Sunday, and I'm Tony Bosworth in the Hawkesbury, New South Wales, foothills of the Blue Mountains. Funny weather at the moment. It keeps raining, and it's sunny when it's raining a lot of the time as well. Very bizarre. Anyway, I thought I'd just have a quick chat about Super Saturday. Right now, great image, I know, isn't it? That's me on a bad day, like on a really bad day. Anyway, the thing is, so where I work, every day we have a meeting, right, at just before noon. I don't know why we need one every day. I don't know, right? But anyway, we always have this meeting. Now, on Mondays, everybody round the table and also our operation in India have to tell us what wonderful thing happened on the weekend, usually on a Saturday. What happened on your Saturday? What did you do that really stood out? Now, of course, most people don't have anything, right? Because they're just relaxing or they're hoovering, it's not something that you normally want to bother mentioning. When it comes to the Indian folks, almost always they go, yes, I went to a church meeting, right? Fair dues, whatever, gets your boat going, floats your boat. That's it, isn't it? Anyway, so the problem is, me being me, right? I want to make stories up. So I'm beginning to make stories up to make my weekend seem a lot more interesting than it is. For example, so I have this friend, Brian. He's a character in one of my books, Jerome, and in reality, he's an ex-Navy SEAL, right? And he's a good bloke, and he's shared many stories with me. Anyway, so what I did the other week was I said, my friend Brian came to visit. I had to pick him up at the airport, and then I paused for dramatic effect and said, from the RAF base, the Royal Australian Air Force Base, which is just down the road. They're like, why? I said, I don't know, he's just passing through, he's been on a job in Southeast Asia, Then the story comes out bit by bit. One of the people said to me, was he there when Bin Laden was killed? It's ridiculous, right? Anyway, I told this story. Anyway, I'm really stuck this week, so I'm thinking, what the hell? What am I going to do? So I was driving along yesterday. I came up with this idea. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. Came up with this idea that an old friend of mine, Genevieve, which is true, lives in France, right? Same age as me. And we knew each other when we were in our early 30s, right? In a sliding doors moment, this is probably what I'll say. In a sliding doors moment, my children could have been speaking French. Anyway, she's got a daughter. Nothing to do with me. But I'm thinking maybe I will make it something to do with me. So she came on the weekend, returning from French Caledonia or something like that. So I'm still working on that background. And she came to stay for the weekend, and that was great, lovely, and I practiced my French. And one of the things was, though, that she told me something, and it seems that I have a daughter. Should I do it? Can I get away with it? I don't know. It's a bit extreme. And then we'll ask somebody in India, they'll go, I went to a church picnic. Be like, all right, Anyway, I find it really weird. These things in companies where they make you do these things, like it's playing games almost, isn't it, right? I can't stand it. One of the places I used to work, right, many, many years ago, is a family-owned company, and they're always the worst, family-owned companies. Never, ever worked for them. I've done it a couple of times. It's always the same, right? Anyway, they used to have these annual games, right? I don't know. I think it was around about Christmas, which is hot here. It's the summer, right? And what you had to do was you had to do various things like hopscotch, and it was like kids' games, and the wife of the owner, who, they're all interesting characters. I could go into that a bit more. You'd be doing the race, like in a sack or something, and she'd be whipping you, right? I think she enjoyed it rather too much. One year, this is true, we had to dress up as characters that were picked out of a hat on our way to a party, Christmas party, an office Christmas party. And we had to travel there on the bus, right? On a bus, a public bus. And people had to guess who you were, right? Like you're involving these people you've never even seen before. It's ludicrous. Anyway, I picked one out of the hat. So I'll tell you what it was. It was a famous Aborigine boxer. All right? This is only a few years ago. Well, actually, no, that's not true. It's 20 years ago. Anyway, I said, but I don't look Aboriginal. They said, well, you just sort of black your face up. I was like, oh my God, this is just not good. Anyway, upshot is I decided I'd have to do it. You couldn't get out of it. I tried to get out of it, but I couldn't get out of it. Dressed up, got the shorts on, got the boxing gloves on. Are you any idea how hard it is to get your Opal card out and click it with boxing gloves? You can't really do it, right? I had it in my mouth in the end. I bang it on, right? It was ridiculous. Anyway, I get on the bus. and this bus is taking a load of people to a Christmas party of their own, right? It's a local Aboriginal group. You can imagine how that went. You can imagine how that went. I just sat there like this most of the time with my black face. Anyway, when I got off the bus, eventually got there to the party, they went, hey, who discovered who you were? And I'm like, no, nobody asked. Anyway, there you go. Anyway, we'll see. So, yeah, maybe that's a story for Saturday as well. I could twist that around a bit, couldn't I? Make it a little bit more interesting. Anyway, there you go. Ludicrous thing. So, look, I'm off. I'm working on my book this weekend as much as I can, changing the tense. I've told you that before, I think, and just tidying it up. But I'm happy. About halfway through it now, so that's good. So it's all written. I'm just going through and sorting it out after leaving it for, I don't know, almost 9 years now, actually. Anyway, I'm hopeful of that, fingers crossed. All right, hope you have a good day, and I will talk to you again soon. And, yeah, let me know what you did on Saturday. See ya.